Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new video, and welcome back finally to some more Gran Turismo 7 content. We return today here for, yes, a 20 lap race of the Suzuka circuit. Gran Turismo, it appears that they might finally have listened to the fans and provided us with a daily race C that is going to be approximately 40 minutes in length. There's one mandatory pit stop as well over the course of today's race, and well, the choice seems to be Porsche if you're not in the top license there. So we'll wait and see how this one goes. Apparently already gaining a couple of freebies before we make our way down into turn one then. But yeah, as mentioned, this is really what Gran Turismo has desperately needed for the last few weeks, you know, the last couple of months really. People have been asking for some longer daily races. Of course, I jumped in and did all the combos early on in the year and then just got a little bit sidetracked with Daytona 24 and things like that. So it feels good to finally be diving back in with more Gran Turismo 7 today then. But yeah, this week though, you've got obviously 3 races. One of them obviously is this one. One of them is, I believe, 5, it might be 7 laps around the short version of Suzuka. And then the final one is a 3-lap Group 4 race around Spa-Francorchamps, which should take, yeah, about 7 minutes worth. So wanted to have a look to the inside of the RCZ there. Instead, we'll have to try and make a diving manoeuvre to the outside. And apparently I'm just going to get squeezed out in the process then. Not too sure what that guy's problem was, why he couldn't spot me there, but apparently he didn't then. So, yeah, I mean, obviously we'll wait and see as to how this one goes over the course of the race. We've got another car having a look down my inside through Spoon. I always forget how undrivable any car is on this game over the AstroTurf. You've got to be really careful around a lot of these tracks on this game. And yes, Suzuka is littered with a lot of it as well. Turn 1, obviously Spoon there, 130R as well, all contain that bit of road as well. That's certainly not the line through 130R. Clearly they haven't done as badly though as the Lightning McQueen Porsche there as well then. So yeah, it's going to be one of those races, I think, where it is going to be easy to end up making mistakes as well, and other drivers are potentially going to struggle. And I think, you know, it's really going to reward those drivers that can be quite consistent, are able to set lap after lap in good stead as well. You do have a mandatory pit stop, I think, though, to be honest. With a 20-lap race, you're probably going to want to make a pit stop anyway. And I don't know, going into it, as of right now, I don't believe there's going to be any rain. The radar is looking pretty clear, so wait and see as to how this develops, whether we get any rain later on in the race. But yeah, clearly Gran Turismo have finally listened. I desperately though need to try and build up my confidence again, as we're a little bit all over the road through the S's. Managed to get a few laps in practice, but maybe not feeling as prepped as I'd hoped to. So taking a look then at everything else surrounding this race, you can move the brake bias around, which is good. Fuel should actually make it to the end as well. So I think it's probably going to be a very linear kind of, you could stop at half distance if you wanted to. So at the end of lap 10, maybe we'll see some other drivers try and bring out an undercut as well. Then tyre wear as well, I believe, is set to, it might be 1x usage as well. So yeah, it really is just a race of strategy then. You know, it's not going to be that if you try and undercut someone, your tyres are going to be wrecked way earlier than them. You have only got the mediums as well. You can't use the hards or the softs. So it is, you know, I think they maybe are just testing the water with it and kind of sort of seeing how people get on, kind of what their thoughts and feelings are, as well, the GTR there is going to go full Tokyo drift through the Degnas, but will re-emerge back on the road in one piece. Lap times, I think we should be looking at close to the 2-minute mark. Maybe we'll see a few drivers dip under as the race goes on, as again the GTR really struggling then to put the power down. We'll try and have a look right the way around the outside, but not able to find anything there. So he's going to cover the inside ready then for Spoon. We're going to try and break early out of it, but clearly he was very interested in making sure I'd backed out of that one. As again, can we try and put the power down out onto the back straight there, a little bit wide on the exit of the corner? A guy behind me, I think he got, yeah, he must have been taken out on lap 1. So he is looking quite racy, actually. Might well try and fight his way back through, as I just don't have the confidence. Oh, through 130, oh! And that's exactly what I mean. We've absolutely ate the wall there. But, yeah, we'll have a little bit of damage for a few corners. But we should be able to keep going. Oh, we got more yellows. Others definitely still having issues through 130R. And, well, we're not going to be in last for too long then in this race. So we'll be over-firing into that final corner. I always still get worried. I know, obviously, ghosting is a thing on this game. I still get worried about it, as, well, clearly a couple of the other Porsches then have run into problems. As we'll try and get some slipstream out of the final corner. See if we can move ourselves up into P12 then of this race. I'm definitely quicker than the GTR that's a little bit further up the road as well. But again, you know, it's like I said at the start of this race. It's all about the consistency here. Consistency is key and not making errors over that AstroTurf. But yeah, I certainly hope Gran Turismo do more races like this. Because otherwise, yeah, we'd probably be anywhere from, well, a third to 2/3 of the way through this race already. So there we go. Clearly a decent Sector 1. Well, I didn't actually realise, but we were purple in Sector 1 and Sector 2 there, and that's the kind of lap time I know I can achieve around this circuit. Finally getting a good representative on the board then. Top 10 should be doable, whoa, by the end of this one, as we get a nice little moment of opposite lock through Turn 1. That's not quite the way you want to take that first corner, as always on Gran Turismo. Smoothness is key. Got so many more cars having issues, though. And then we'll get back past the BMW again. Then surprised still that we've only seen 2 drivers rage quit. Often you tend to get a few more than that in Gran Turismo, at least in my experience. I would love as well to try and get up to A license at some point, maybe throughout 2024, just where I haven't played Gran Turismo as intensely in recent years. It just kind of hasn't really been possible at any point. Tyre wear, though, I wouldn't want to go much more than half a race on either set of tyres, to be completely honest. They're not looking that great as we make our way back through 130R. Porsche in front of me there just gets a little bit of a wobble. We'll have a look to the inside, but back out of it there as the BWT car as well just behind, pushing me along. Can we try and switch him off that final corner, though? Yes, we can. And we should be through then. We'll have the inside line back down in towards Turn 1. It is going to be a drag race between myself and the German, though, but will this move us back up? Will we be able to complete the move, surely, on the inside there? Yeah, he's not going to be able to do a Kimi Räikkönen on me. In a Formula 1 car, yes, that's possible. In a GT3 car, too wide through Turn 1 is, well, some would say scary. I would just suggest probably suicidal. Oh, guy in front of me has gambled it, so he's in a little bit earlier than I would expect, to be honest. We've got someone else dropping out as well. So we're suddenly up then into 8th place of this race. Unless, yeah, there's others with pace troubles up in front. Oh, yeah, this is the problem I have with Suzuka on this game, of course. As, well, that guy's clearly not done much better than me. I always try and break at the Formula 1 marker. And, of course, that is way too late in a GT3 car around most of the corners around here. It's mainly down at T1 as this guy now trying to have a look around me if possible. Luckily, we'll make the car as wide as we can. Nope, we're going to get a little bit of a push in the rear. And almost drop it on the exit as well then. So Chris happy to muscle his way back through. So we have definitely still got a fight on our hands. I want to try and get one more lap though. I want to get over half distance before we box onto our second set of tyres. So our big wobble through the Degners. Oh, there we go. Chris is in. So we'll move up then back into P8, might be P7, as we got another Brit who's opted to dive it in. Yeah, I mean, most of us, it seems to be today, are in the Porsche, but we're going to dive in then at the end of this lap. So you can brake not much before the 50 there, maybe just that little bit of tarmac down at Turn 1. But you've just got to make sure you're consciously aware of it, otherwise you just kind of, or at least I do anyway, just panic going into the braking zone. Big moment there as we tried to put the power down out onto the back straight, and now we're going to have another Porsche trying to look past me. Make sure I do give him some room there. Didn't intend on squeezing him too profusely. And Oh, just Fernando Alonso, Michael Schumacher. We couldn't do anything there. We were going to get pinched, and I just don't have the confidence on those tyres at the moment. But I assume we're both going to peel into the pit lane at the end of this lap. Everyone else further in front has done so. So we'll really try and lean on him as we make our way into the pit lane. Shouldn't need any fuel either, which I suppose is good. We're actually doing slightly better on the fuel than a lot of other drivers in this race then. But yeah, so far I think we've done all right. You know, I think obviously, you know, we're trying to get back into Gran Turismo. It's one of those games that definitely takes, you know, you've got to be racing on it quite a bit if you want any chance there. As well, there is the Porsche. Came into the pit lane nose to tail, and we're going to re-emerge in exactly the same situation. But yeah, that Nissan GTR a little way up the road, still certainly hope to close in on them by the end. There are a couple of other cars battling, but I guess we kind of just got to hope their tyres fall away. Wonderful. Oh man. Come on, it's just so difficult over that curb. I mean, I've never understood why Gran Turismo... Great. How is that where it decides to reset you? I mean, I've never understood why they make those curbs so lethal around here, or the AstroTurf even, I should say. You know, would you have something like that on a real racetrack where it's pretty much made of glass for no reason? I don't know, but yeah, that's another really big mistake late on in the afternoon. I'm not convinced we're going to have much time to catch back up now. Come on, what's the car doing? It won't even find anything now. Thanks, I guess. Am I going to get some... Thanks? Again, I guess? Oh, he's just trying to turn me, is he? Fair enough. We've just been wrecked by someone for no real reason. Oh, we've lost another one. We're back up then into P12. I mean, yeah, the Austrian is 10 seconds up the road. And now, to be honest, I just want to close back up to try and prove a point as much as anything else. But, yeah, it's moments like that, though, that, you know, there's so much about Gran Turismo to like. And still so much of it to get really, really frustrated about as well. Oh, almost new fast lap of the day. Just 1/10 out behind the Dutchman leading the field here. Wherever I go now in the world, it is unfortunately Dutchman leading in every single race, apparently. Oh, well, there we go. Austrian guy has just set new fast lap of the day on a 59.8. Oh, we are so close. So agonizingly close to being able to do this. I reckon there's a mid to high 59 in this car. How many times am I going to improve in this race and still not go under that 2-minute mark? A 2-minute point 3, a 2-minute point 2, a 2-minute point 2. I'm getting that 159. Come on, shortest run to the line. Come on, this has surely got to be it, please. No. 2-minute point 023 that time round. We can't really get much closer if I wanted to without getting that target. The guy in front's made a little bit of a mistake though. That gap now is under 3 seconds. I mean, it's pretty much just to try and get payback as much as anything else. And by payback, I mean overtake him, not do anything to him. But we're 14 thousandths down this time around as we make our way in towards this final chicane. Come on, just attack those curbs nicely. Oh, I'm not convinced that line on the exit's going to be enough. Am I going to get even closer? Are we finally going to go sub 2? Come on, come on, come on. No, of course not. A 2-minute point 1 that time round. How many laps in a row am I going to get so close to this? Oh, no. No, no, no. We were again purple in Sector 1. Oh, man. Purple in Sector 1, closing in on the Austrian, and, well, I think, yeah, that final mistake is going to pay the price there. I mean, we felt like we found a lot of consistency in the second half of this race. I might just have to box and go for one glory run right at the end, try and take away his fastest lap. Right, come on then. One more lap to go. Let's try and get our redemption in what has been a tough old race here. The idea is fantastic. It's a shame still, yeah, Gran Turismo feels like it's still got a long way to go before they fix their driver problem as well, you know. Yeah, I made a couple of my own mistakes as well, but say that the Austrian, sorry, turning me for, well, what seemingly felt. The only thing I could think of was maybe he felt that I'd parked it in his way, but, you know, it's kind of his, you know, choice to go around me. He's got to try and get around me rather than just driving through me there. Which, yeah, kind of put the final nail in the coffin to this race. But, yeah, it is going to be the Dutchman that wins. So I think he was one of the only people that really did get right the way throughout without making any major error. I want to just see, though, if we can finally get under the 2-minute mark, steal away that fastest lap, and provide the Austrian, yeah, with not much to smile about either from this race come the end of it. You know, I'm never going to be one to try and take someone else out on the road or anything like that. But certainly, if we can try and hit them where it hurts, if you will, we're certainly going to try and go for it. Maybe what I'll need to do is dive back in with this race later on in the week, see if we can have a bit of a better running at it. Because I certainly feel, yeah, this one has got some potential. But again, you know, let's also not try and hide for a second that Gran Turismo is a perfect game either. I will never understand why the AstroTurf works the way it does. Yes, it does a good job at enforcing track limits, but, you know, you got a penalty system for that as well. Otherwise, it basically just means you don't feel like you can really push, which is a bit of a shame as well, always, on any kind of racing game there. But come on then, final sector. What is the gap going to be like? Are we going to be able to... How are we down? Right, we're going to need to find some time through here. Am I going to bin it through 130R again? Not quite. That was certainly brave, though, on the way through. And, well, certainly not sticking track limits either. I bottled it through the final corner anyway. I think that goes to showcase just what this race has really been like. And I didn't even get to finish anyway, so it was all for nothing there. Thank you all so much for watching. If you have enjoyed, please do make sure to leave a like, get yourself subscribed. And yeah, we'll return very soon with more GT7 content.